welcome back, and then I hope you guys were able to do this problem. So I gave you the hint. So we have this, then the denominator becomes, so now in this case we will multiply out the denominator, unlike in previous some examples where I said keep the denominator in factor form. So we keep it in factor form and we factor it, and we kind of take the common denominators. Here we are multiplying by the conjugate. So in the top I have 1 minus sine of t whole squared, and at the bottom we have 1 plus sine of t times 1 minus sine t. So the top will become 1 minus 2 sine t plus sine square t, whereas at the bottom will become 1 minus sine square t. But what is sine square t? 1 minus sine square t, by now you should know it is cosine square t. In the numerator I have 1 minus 2 sine t plus sine square t, and at the bottom we have cosine square t. Now what comes to mind? Remember, we have to show that it is equal to secant of t minus tangent of t whole square. So let me divide each term in the top by the cosine square t. So I can write it as 1 over cosine square t minus 2 times sine t over cosine square t plus sine square t over cosine square t. Now 1 over cosine t is secant t, so we are getting secant square t minus, now note here the last term, this will be tangent square t, which kind of gives us a hint that the middle term should have both secant t and tangent t in there. So how do we get that? Well, we can see that we have 2 cosine square t's in the bottom, cosine t times cosine t. So we can have 2 times sine of t over cosine of t times 1 over cosine of t. So now secant square t minus 2 times secant t times tangent t plus tangent square t is equal to secant t minus tangent t whole square, and that's what we wanted to show. So now note here in these verifying these identities, our main goal is to use the known identities or known results that we have, and then use them to get to the side we want to go. So in these cases, we have to keep our target in view. So if in this case, for example, in this one, especially in the right hand side, why did I, once I got here, after this step, what if I change this to 1 minus cosine square t? Would that help? We could have done that, right? But that wouldn't have helped. or changing this to 1 minus sine square t. Well, we got this from the 1 minus sine square t in the previous step. So there is no point in rewriting this back to 1 minus sine square t. But then why didn't I change it to this? In some cases we did, why not here? So that wouldn't help us, right? And then keeping in view that we have to get secant and tangent. So on the top, all the terms we have are with sine, if there is any expression, and so the bottom is cosine, the power of cosine. So if we can expect that when we divide sine by cosine, we are going to get tangent or secant. 1 over cosine will give us secant, and sine over cosine will give us tangent. Last identity to verify. Again, left hand side is complicated, so I start with left hand side. And what do we do here? I hope you can answer. So we have 1 minus cosine t over sine t plus sine of t over 1 minus cosine of t. What should I do? Take the common denominator. So what is the common denominator here? Sine of t times 1 minus cosine of t. Now we will keep the denominator in the factored form. On the numerator I have 1 minus cosine t times 1 minus cosine t, which makes it square here, plus similarly sine t into sine t, or sine square t. Now expand the numerator, keep the denominator as it is. In the top I get 1 minus 2 cosine t plus cosine square t plus sine square t. And the bottom is sine of t times 1 minus cosine of t, which is equal to, so note again, cosine square t plus cosine square t is 1. So we get 1 minus 2 cosine of t plus 1. And the denominator is sine of t times 1 minus cosine of t. Then we have in the numerator 1 plus 1 is 2. So 2 minus 2 cosine t over sine t into 1 minus cosine of t. So we can factor the 2 out in the numerator. So 1 minus cosine t and 1 minus cosine t gets cancelled. We are left with 2 over sine of t, which is the same as 2 times secant t, which is the right hand side, which is what we wanted. So this is how we verify the identities. Now this is something that you again practice. So there are a bunch of problems in 7.1 for you to practice. You don't have to do all of them, but please do try few of them. There is always one question where you have to verify the identity.